And welcome back to Who Would Win? And this one comes to us from Mr. T/T, who asked the question, let's be kind here, folks. Wonder Woman versus Black Widow. So, look, in a straight fight, Wonder Woman completely and utterly stomps Black Widow. Good night, everybody! Look, it's no contest. Black Widow's a great fighter. Wonder Woman's a better fighter. Physically, Wonder Woman is far stronger and faster, more durable than Black Widow. The few abilities or a few things Black Widow has in her arsenal: guns. She's a skilled marksman. Wonder Woman can block anything she's got. And even if she is somehow hit, she will recover. Like, as long as she doesn't get a headshot, she's fine. She wears a tiara for that, so she's good. Among other things, she doesn't wear a tiara to block the headshot, but still. And even then, she's most likely going to block all the shots anyway. A knife doesn't matter. She's got a sword, lasso. She can easily tie up Black Widow. The Venom Bite or the Widow's Bite, whatever it's called, might briefly annoy her if she gets a shot in, and then she's just going to crack her in the skull. There is no feasible way on God's green earth that Black Widow could beat Wonder Woman, save giving her a battle suit to fight her in. And even then, there is no clear-cut answer to that. There's no clear guarantee that she's going to win. You'd have to basically give her a Batman-level battle suit. Because Batman's probably one of the only humans on the planet who could beat Wonder Woman, and only because he preps that much. There's no way Black Widow beats her. But that's only barely a 2-minute video. But let's do a different version of this then. Let's talk character. And specifically, we'll talk about the movies. We've only got 3 movies that have Wonder Woman Gal Gadot in them right now. Now, it's been rumored we might get Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa in the Flash movie, because it's a version of the Flashpoint paradox, which in that movie, the Amazons and the Atlanteans were at war. But until then, we only have the 3 movies she's got, Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman 84, and Justice League. Black Widow, we have the entire MCU cinematic universe, starting with Iron Man 2, the Avengers, Avengers 2, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, the Infinity Saga, and then Black Widow. We've got our, I believe, 8 movies, if I'm not missing anything on that. So we've got small arc versus big arc. So who do I think in that case wins? Like, in terms of their character growth, the way they depicted the characters, all that. Well, let's look at how Wonder Woman's portrayed really quick. Well, we're not going to spend more than a few minutes on this. And first, Wonder Woman, she's portrayed as noble, fierce warrior, wanting to protect the world, wanting to fight, but also being naive to the world, coming to the realization that not everything isn't black and white. That scene where she kills the general or a colonel, I can't remember, thinking it's Ares and thinking that the war stops because you kill Ares. Well, and then realizing, well, I killed him. Why isn't it working? And Chris Pine basically has to tell her, it's like, maybe it's not. Maybe we're just bad, but we got to, that's. You have to make, you have to make the choices you make. And it's like the black and white worldview turning into the gray. I liked what they were doing with that. Now, I do think it's still a little. The end of that movie's a little All they had to do was block out his face and give him just red eyes. That's all they had to do. Not the old man behind the mask. Anyway. But yeah, I like what they were doing there, definitely. In Justice League, she doesn't have much growth as a character. She's just kind of there. Although she has some nice interaction with both Cyborg in the Snyder Cut and Bruce in the theatrical cut. There's a scene in the theatrical cut I actually wish that was in the Snyder Cut, where they're just talking about leading the team and stuff like that. And then in 84, you have to. This comes prior to Justice League. It's about. I honestly don't know what the moral for her growth is. Not hiding anymore, coming to terms on Steve's death. Being careful what you wish for. What is the actual moral of her story in that movie? Like, what is her life lesson that she learns as a character? Like, she helps save the world. And I do have a theory about that movie. Because the whole idea, I won't get into it there. There's too much going on for that. But yeah, I think so. Technically speaking, chronologically for the DC universe, it goes Wonder Woman 84 and then Justice League, not Wonder Woman Justice League 84. So where we see her in Justice League is technically where she is at this point mentally in her world. Sorry, she's in 4 movies. She's also in Batman vs. Superman. Although she doesn't have a lot to do besides fight Doomsday, she has a good scene with Bruce Wayne. That's about it. But that's, yeah. So, compare that to Black Widow, who starts off as the spy. Working for S.H.I.E.L.D., working for Nick Fury. All's well and good. Then Avengers come, and we start to get a bit of her backstory, like a little bit here or there. And we start to see that relationship form. Then you go into Captain America, Winter Soldier, and we see again more of the cracks start. You know, she has that line about it's a lonely way to live. It's a good way not to die, though. And you know, her learning how to trust and putting more faith in her. Then you get into Avengers Age of Ultron, where we actually see her have a romantic interest in Bruce of all people, because she even says, like, this guy, you know, he's not like the other guys. He's a guy who can win every fight, but doesn't want to fight. He's like no one ever. You see again another fight. You see her grow even more. Civil War, you again see where she's come. This family, as she puts it, that she has when she goes on the run with everyone. She switches sides, thinking one side is right, but then ultimately agreeing with Cap. Then you see both Infinity War. Then you see Infinity War, and then you get Endgame, where you see the culmination of her story, really, where she ultimately she makes a sacrifice to save the people she loves. And then you cut to the prequel prior to that, which was Black Widow, where you see this, where she came from, her origin, this family drama, which the family drama is the best part of that movie. And it's unfortunate because here's where Wonder Woman actually suffers. Wonder Woman really just hasn't had enough films. And as much as I do actually enjoy Gal Gadot, I do think she's become a legitimately functional actress. I never thought she didn't come off the best in terms of an actress, but she at least had some charm to her. She's obviously very beautiful. And she also had a competent director behind her. But I think she's improved to the point where she is a competent enough actress now. Scarlett Johansson is an Academy-level actress, and I believe Academy-nominated actress. I don't believe she's an award winner, but she's been nominated several times. I don't think she's an Academy Award winner. Now I say it out loud. I think maybe she is? I know she's been nominated a good couple times. Scarlett Johansson. Hold on. Scarlett Johansson. Let's see here. She is... Boom. Obviously, Gal Gadot has not been nominated for any awards yet. She's young. She's only in her early 30s. So she's got a long way to go. Nominated for 2 Oscars. Yeah, and I believe they were for A Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, both of them. So lead and supporting. Same year too. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, same year. That was the year of ScarJo right there. Yeah, she didn't win them, but damn, she deserved those nominations. Yeah, I think the problem for Gal Gadot is A, obviously not as strong an actress as Johansson, but B, Black Widow just has had a lot more time to grow, develop, and have her story fully realized. And have a legacy in her younger sister. Whereas Wonder Woman has not had that benefit. And Wonder Woman 84's message in terms of Wonder Woman herself is very muddled, like what she's supposed to have learned and how she's supposed to have grown at that point. Is she supposed to have just accepted the reality of Steve being gone, or what's going on there? Whereas it's never nebulous about what Black Widow is supposed to have learned and how she's supposed to have grown in the MCU. You see that play. You see how all these characters have grown and evolved. That's the benefit of the MCU here when you're trying to do a character versus character comparison here, especially with the DCEU, at least at this point. Give DCEU another maybe 5 years, assuming it lives that long, and maybe we'll talk. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, in an actual fight, Wonder Woman stomps Black Widow every day out of the week. Except on the rare occasion Black Widow gets a lucky hit on her with a special weapon, or she's wearing a special combat suit. So 99.9% of the time, or there's a 0.1% maybe Black Widow can eke out a win in a lucky scenario. But in a character perspective, just going by the movies, Black Widow actually wins that. Black Widow's had the most growth character that we've seen compared to the two, and she's had the biggest arc. Whereas Wonder Woman just hasn't been on screen long enough for it to benefit her. So surprisingly, I will go Black Widow for the actual character itself, how she's grown and evolved by the movies. But in terms of an actual fight, it's obviously Wonder Woman. This is just my opinion, however. Let me know in the comments below what you would think to do, or what you think. Until then, thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.